It's a month of surprises for you, Aquarius. It's May 2020. I'm Dadhichi from astrology.com.au. Take a look down here at this powerhouse of energy, Mercury. Uranus, your ruler, and the Sun here in this fourth house of domestic activities. One's mother, one's hereditary. So a lot of energy there, but sudden, surprising developments that can happen there. And as long as you are able to, communicate effectively, and I always say this planet of Mercury is a planet of communication. There you see the moon making a nice aspect from the 8th house. This may be related to money associated with your family and how you're going to pay the bills, who's going to take responsibility, so on and so forth. So this is an important part of the horoscope. Later in the month, as we move through this, you'll start to see that this 5th house is also going to be important. Already important at the outset of the month, with one of your friendlies, actually your best planet, Venus, in the 5th house of love affairs. This moon moves up to the top part of your horoscope on the 6th, and on the 7th and 8th, you see it gains maximum brightness, full moon phase here in the 10th house of profession. There could be some tension there between your work and your home life. As I said, a lot of sudden developments are taking place this month. But we notice here Mercury and the Sun quietly moving away from this disruptive influence, with the moon moving into the house of fulfillment, the 11th house here on May 9th. There may be some issues associated with your past relationships or something you've done in the past. That's shown by the moon connecting with the south node, while Venus is with the north node. So there are karmic elements here, friendships, love affairs, and your most significant other relationships. The moon takes a bit of a back seat here in the 12th house. It wants to be low key. It's doing a bit of an inquisitive investigation into your past, into yourself, really, and a nice aspect there to these areas that we mentioned earlier. Mercury moves to the 5th house of creativity on the 12th. That's a nice lift as well. When you've got these two planets, Mercury and Venus in the 5th house, you can feel good about yourself. You want to get back into some entertainment, some fun, some comedy, even some sports, puzzles, games of chance, that type of thing. This is an interesting house of the zodiac. The triangular houses, that is the rising sign, or the sun sign in your case, 5th house and 9th house, are important. And here when we see Mercury, ruler of the 5th, Venus, ruler of the 9th, combining in this area, this is very, very lucky. It means you can even take some gambles. Be a little bit careful there on the 16th, because just as the moon is passing Mars, you don't want to be too impulsive about where you put your hard-earned cash. Moves away there across nebulous Neptune, as I call it, into the 3rd house of ticketing, sales, negotiations. Now, you might want to buy a lottery ticket at that time. This speculative combination is very, very lucky for you. In any case, your creative impulses will be strong and you'll feel good about yourself. There's a nice sextile aspect as well. That's a 60-degree aspect around the 19th between the moon, Venus and Mercury. We talked about the 4th house. Here it's activated again by the moon on the 20th. There it is, moving in close proximity to Uranus. Expect the unexpected. It rules the 6th house of debts. So you may have some additional expenses there that you hadn't planned on. It's good to plan ahead earlier in the month. There we see the sun moving into the Gemini sign on the 21st. And then you've got that all important, look at these triangular aspects, very nicely fortified by Jupiter and Pluto. The new moon, that's the important lunation. That's where everything's happening. Look at the congestion of planets. I call it a celestial traffic jam. And that can be a little bit hard to deal with, which is why you have to have all your planning and your scheduling really, really well worked out at that time. If you've been cooped up for too long, like most of us, this is a period where you want to break free. either creatively, if you're still locked down, hopefully, fingers crossed, by the end of May, this is going to be a lot less severe, although you do still need to watch your health. That's also shown by transit of Moon in the 6th house here, in the opposing position to Jupiter and Pluto. That's sometimes, not always, but I've got a feeling with you, it might be excessive work building up, having an impact upon you, especially here in the upper part of your body and this esophageal area, what you eat. 6th house is digestion. So be a little bit more careful with the food that you eat, especially if you're partying or starting to relax a lot more. That's again shown by this 5th house. Mars in the 2nd house, by the way, can produce some disputes, especially there. You see the square aspect there between Venus and Mars. Take care not to let money matters get in the way of your relationships. Mercury moves into the 6th house. That shows a lot of thinking and planning around your work towards the end of the month. And it's also imperative to communicate your feelings to co-workers and the people that are sort of affecting your work and day-by-day scheduling. There's more on this, on you, Aquarius, at astrology.com.au. I've written the dailies, the weeklies, the monthlies, the yearlies. It's all to do with you. It's all free. Pop in there. Don't forget to subscribe. We can keep you updated on what's happening. Drop me a line if you need more detailed analysis of your personal horoscope. And stay safe. In the meantime, have fun, and I'll see you next month. Bye-bye.